it straight? Is it straight? I don't know. It looks crooked, man. Maybe the table's crooked. I don't know. Ah, shit. Let me set this up real quick. YouTube. Alright, there I am. Let's see how crooked that is. That's me talking to me. Alright. Yo, what's going on? Haribo. Yo, how's the weather where you be at? It's hot. Still ain't turned on the AC yet. I'm just gonna suffer a little bit more. I can't tell you why I'm not turning it on. I can. It doesn't really take that much electricity. I'm usually never home. Don't know what I got to prove there. Alright, let's see here. Cha. Alright, so I'm just gonna yap. I got a phone call that's supposed to come at 10 o'clock, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but we'll just take it from there. That's at 20 minutes. Alright, so just some updates and what have you. We'll just, let's see. So I'm still teaching English. I'm an English teacher. I teach at junior high school, as I've always been since I've been in Japan. And I also teach at a kind of after school program. It's unique to Japan, I believe, cram school, where kids and adults and what have you will go there to brush up on their English or science or what have you. I'm gonna say what have you a lot in this video. So I do that. I do my 9 to 5, and then I do my 5 to 9. That's a day. My day, usually. But now I'm on spring vacation. It's kind of messed up because of Corona. So it's only a week. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I got my master's, 4 years? 2015? About 5 years ago. I also got another job teaching adults at companies. So sometimes I teach at Apple, Sony, and some other random ones. And that's about it. I think a lot of the reasons people ask me about the MBA thing is because it's like, you got an MBA, so why are you still teaching? I got that a lot right after I graduated. So I was like, what you gonna do now? And I'm like, go to work and teach. I think I made a video a long time ago about that, but it was under kind of duress. I was really upset that people kept objecting to me teaching when I have an MBA. You know, and I just kept hearing it. You got an MBA, you should be making $1 million and owner of your own company. Which makes no sense, because you don't need an MBA to be an owner of your own company. In fact, a few of my friends, they started companies sans MBA. So when I graduated with my little piece of paper, they put the finishing touches on their businesses. Ironic, you know. No, I'm sure they have MBA friends or colleagues or people that are helping them with other stuff, but you don't need an MBA. I primarily did it because Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I was listening to the audiobook, and dude's like, you really need to, you wouldn't walk around the world being illiterate, but a lot of people walk around being financially illiterate. And I'm like, damn, I'm illiterate financially, which is true. I'm like, fuck, let me do something about that. So I went to MBA school, you know, But yeah, it was a learning experience. I learned a lot, met different types of people, and yeah. Man, this table is all lopsided. It looks like one of them fun houses. Technically, I shouldn't even be making this video now because I said the 13th and it's the 12th, which is probably the 11th for wherever other people are outside of Asia. But this was the intended date, Wednesday. So, we're here. We here. All right, so that's a school thing, man. I can delve into the plan, the big picture. Let me show you the big picture. So right now I'm a teacher. I got a teaching visa, instructor visa, which means I can only teach. I can do things under the table, but usually they want to see your passport or the visa you have, and if it's not other things, you can't do other things. Like if a TV station's like, yo, we want you to be on TV and sell bottles of water, and I'm like, how much you paying? Like, we're gonna pay you like 2 mil yen. Still a lot of money, but yen. They would be like, all right, we need to see your visa, and then I would like, here, and it says, and they'd be like, you got an instructor visa. You got to quit your job, and we'll set you up. Which that's probably not the route they would go. They would find there's hundreds of people out here who have no visa, and there's other people with more useful visas, spousal visas, business visas. I mean, there's a whole list of visas you can have. So anyway, I'm working on a plan to change my visa to permanent resident visa. A couple people have it. I don't know any. It's one of those, everyone talks about doing it, but they don't do it. Because every time I bring it up, it'd be like, yeah, I want to rock right now. I'm not. Yo, it's hip hop's birthday, man. But neither here nor there. But a lot of people say they want to do it. I mean, it's just paperwork. If you're here long enough, you just go to immigration, fill out some paperwork, tell them why you want to be here, pay some fee, which is like $50, and give them your bank account to prove that you can take care of yourself, and make sure all your taxes are paid up, and you ain't got any warrants for you and all that stuff. So on that front, I'm good. Tax-wise, I gotta pay my taxes. Like all artists, I don't pay taxes. I'm paying them. So that goes to where I've been working every day for the past 2 months, just so I can get that bread, so I can make that, pay that. So the last part of the puzzle of getting permanent residence is you need a sponsor. They don't call it sponsor, but you need a Japanese person or a person who is a resident. I mean, there's foreigners who are residents, but they probably want Japanese residents to kind of vouch for you, which I don't know what that means, because I don't want anybody being responsible for me. Like if for whatever reason I do something that is not to standards, I don't want them getting a phone call saying, yeah, that guy that you signed for the visa thing is doing weird stuff and you got to take care of it. I would just kind of, so I haven't been really big on that for a minute, but I really do want to get this permanent visa, because once I have the permanent visa, I am free from teaching. I could do whatever the hell I want legally. And where my mind is going, I want to start a little music publishing business. That's what I'm playing around with. A couple of months ago, I finished All You Need to Know About the Music Business by Passman. So this book's been around forever. He keeps updating it, but the industry changes like every second, so it's necessary. And publishing seems the way for me to go, so I'm gonna go that way. But yeah. So the plan is in September or October, I will file the paperwork, and I should know if I have it by December. By December, I should get my little, I don't know if it's going to be a certificate or what have you, but I should have it. And then I can do Well, then I can move on to starting a business. To start the business, I called some lawyers. That was the last video I kind of posted. I was talking to some lawyers, and basically about $5,000 paperwork, sign this, dot your I's, cross your T's, and you have a paper business. So yeah. Look at me looking at me. Looking at me, looking at me. Alright, so that's that. Corona in Japan is Corona in Japan. It's weird. I think Japan is not telling the real numbers because that's just how it works out here. I mean, I base this on after the earthquake and the radiation. It wouldn't be till years later, 7 years later, that all this information started coming out. This is what really happened at that time. And everyone kind of had a feeling about it, but it's Japan and that's how it works. But yeah, it's old people don't be wearing masks, young people don't be wearing masks. Staff at stores are wearing masks. They got gloves and all that. But yeah, I don't know. And it's crazy because when I was working, I mean, I'm on break now, but when I was working, sometimes teachers would disappear for like a week, 2 weeks, because that's how long you have to be outside of school, right? And they're just gone. And then they come back as if nothing happened. One teacher was telling me, yeah, remember I told you that Sally Sue was sick? Well, she got the test and she's not sick. But it's like one of those things. Who's going to run around saying, I'm sick, I was sick? It's. But yeah, I don't got time to get sick. Gotta do high and a bye. Yo, high and bye. But thanks you for the comment. Be safe. Be dehydrated. No, be hydrated. Don't listen to me. All right. Let's see. I just want to run through some things. Try to catch everything. So I mentioned earlier that I'm going to get a phone call around 10 o'clock. And it's from Softbank, my cell phone carrier. So I called them yesterday asking about, because my bills, now this is me, this won't be your bill necessary, but I pay about $200 a month. $200 a month. And they have this stupid way of, for a couple of weeks, or a couple of months, they weren't sending the bills to my house for some reason. So then I was paying double, which is $400 a month. I mean, it's for 2 months, but it's still 1 month. And I was just, yo, what up, Andy? What up, what up, what up? But I was, $400 on a phone bill. And it's not even, I mean, most of it was coming from, I pay an extra $60 for internet, 50 gigabytes of internet, whatever. And then I got all these fees tacked onto it. I got a voicemail box. I got Apple insurance. So anyway, I was calling to be like, yo, I really want to cut down this bill because that shit is annoying. So we're going through things, and it's like, yeah, you got Apple Care. I pay about $15 a month for Apple Care. It's a 2-year plan. Well, it's an indefinite plan. As long as you're on it, you're going to keep paying $15. If you bought it from Apple, it's a set, $150 or some shit like that. So you do the quick math, it's like, wow, they are getting me. But I need to confirm first if it's the same Apple Care as Apple's Apple Care, or is it just a new one that, and we're going back and forth for 45 minutes. She could not or would not tell me the information that would help me understand whatever. So I just said, well, they were going back and forth. I was like, listen, you can't help me, find someone who can, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'll have my manager call you. I said, when? She said, I don't know. I'm like, well, I need to know because I don't want to be sitting around waiting for a call, because most of the times, I'm not ever streaming like this, but most of the times I got my headphones on, making music. So I'm not going to hear a phone call. In fact, I turn off all my devices so I don't get disturbed. So I really need to know when they're going to call, So anyway, we go back and forth. It's like, okay, I'll have her call you back on tomorrow. I said, okay, can you tell her that, I don't got much time, so just tell me yes or no. We don't need to go back and forth. And we go back and forth about if she can tell her that little thing I said to tell her. So yeah, 10 o'clock is supposed to happen. But yeah. But then for whatever reason, I was like, let me handle all my difficult calls for the day. So then I called my landlord, or the people, the real estate company that manages the house I live in, right? And they fucked up on my internet. I paid for internet, it doesn't work, so I was just like, hey, I would like to get my money back. They're like, we can't give you your money back, but you can use the points, that's how it is, points to buy something on the thing. I don't even know what they have, but I don't need anything unless they have like bottles of water, but I think it's digital content. And I let them know, I pay for Netflix and I could buy shit on Apple, and I just want my money back. We go back and forth, back, forth and forth. And then they pass me off. Well, before they pass me off, she's like, you could talk to the manager, but the manager doesn't speak English. I said, no problem. He's going to say what he says, and I'm going to say I want my refund. He's going to say, well, good night. I'm going to say I want my refund. She's like, whatever. Click. Well, she didn't click, but transfer. And the dude gets on the phone and says, good day. How may I be of service for you? Like, So we go back and forth, back and forth for a good 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just, let all this get out, throw it out into the universe. But I told him, whatever, this is what I want. This is what I want, and this is what I want. And I don't know, man. Lately, I just don't like customer service. I have an expectation that customer service is going to serve me with service. All I ever get is like lip, and not the good kind. I don't know, and it just, like, for me, and it's everything, but for me, it's like, is this a bottle of water? Yes or no. I don't care what you think, if it's healthy or not. I don't care if you don't like the brand. I don't care if you think that the plastic container is bad for the environment. I'm asking you if it's a bottle of water. Yes or no. All that other stuff is irrelevant, but it seems people want to get all into that shit, and it irritates me. And when it comes to customer service, so I started hitting them with, listen, in the world I live in, we pay for products, and products that we pay for should work. And if they don't work, we should be allowed to get our money back. This is not the American way. This is the human way. I started talking like that and getting all in. And he's like, what's our policy? I said, show me your policy. I'm on the internet now. And he jumps on there and he's all like, actually, no, I'm not responding to comments because I'm going to let them building up comments. Otherwise, I'll lose my train of thought. But I'll wrap this up, though. See, there goes my comment. Let me grab that cup. Let me get... So, long story short, he ended up saying, I got to call whoever I got to call, and we'll call you back. And then when I was at Starbucks working on some music, the man's like, we're going to give you a refund. I said, thank you. But then he said, if it's possible. I don't know what that means. You're gonna give it to me or not? And this is $20, people. This is not like, it's not breaking the bank for anybody. It's my money, 20. Anyway, let me check some comments because it is interactive, right? All right. What are you talking about? 400 for $1 billion? Yeah, 400. Well, let me read them all and I'll come back to that. Are you spotting comments? I wonder how his Japanese now. My Japanese is still choto. Choto. That's the comments All right. So phone bill. I pay $60 for the 50 gigabyte plan of data because I eat data like it's eggs, and I eat a lot of eggs. A lot of the stuff I've been doing is downloading sounds from my system. That's all. That's my new hobby, buying new sounds, and they're big ass collections. So that's 60 right there. I did one of those, buy the phone now, pay over the next 12, 24 months. And of course I got the iPhone XS with 256 gigabytes of data. Now you can see what the problem is, man. If I would just scale the shit down, but only the best for Matthew. So that's another 6,000 coming in there. That's 12. Then I pay 1,000, 1,500 for insurance. Now I'm pretty good with my toys, and I call them toys because that's what they are. They're toys to me. So I coddle them. Never cracked the screen, never broke, lost, scratched. They're in their little cases. But just in case, I got more insurance on my phone than I got for me, which that shows where my priorities are. All right, then there's some random ass fees, like the voicemail thing. To tether my phone to, right now I'm tethering my phone to my other phone or to my laptop. And it just comes up to $200, which is expensive. So hear me out here, hear me out. This is what's gonna happen. In October, that's when my plan is finished, or the phone will be paid off for. And my first thought was, I'm going to get the new iPhone, But you know what? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get a flip phone. It has to be a flip phone. A little flip phone. No. Well, the reason for this is the data plan. The lowest data plan Softbank offers for any smartphone is like $30, $40. And you can't not have data if you have a smartphone, they said. So out of rage, I'll get a flip phone. They said, okay, well, you can't do that. I said, why can't I do that? If I buy the phone, I'm not, and we go back and forth. Anyway, they can do it, they will do it. I'm gonna get me a little flip phone. A little punch the numbers in, because it's part of a bigger picture, man. I'm tired of being attached to the phone. It's like, but let me check some comments, because I don't want to get off on a tangent. Evening. You can survive with small ones. How do people respond? You speak English to them. Evelyn, and here's the thing about Japanese, speaking Japanese. Of course, the more you know, actually, it's weird. Like, of course, speaking Japanese can help some situations, but it's not just the Japanese that's important. It's the culture about Japanese. This is important. You speaking Japanese is not the culture. It's the same thing as if someone is like, hey, what's up, man? How's it hanging? It's not the same thing as if they come to you, what's shaking, what's popping. Like, there's certain nuances of, like the lady on the phone, she said, I said, are you going to be able to tell so-and-so what I asked you to say? She said, I suppose. I said, hold up. That's a yes or no question. You hear me with a suppose, which means you may or may not do it. There's a chance. And the fact that she dropped in a suppose, because she was natural with it. It kind of, don't play with me. Don't. So that's the kind of thing. So now, let me collect all this. So if you're just speaking Japanese, you need to know the nuances and because a lot of the arguments I have, I always say something like, where is the proof? If they say you can't do this, show me where it's written on your form, your website, or in some manual. But if you were speaking all that in Japanese, they would say, well, this is the way it is, and you study Japanese, you know better. And there's nothing you can't argue outside the logic if you're inside. You follow where I'm going with this? Now you can, I've seen it. I've seen guys or girls, women, who were masters at the language and they went in on the person. But they also had the color of their respective countries, wherever they came from, infused with the language, which gave them, like I mentioned, it's hilarious. It wasn't hilarious at the time, but this is what went down. We were at a restaurant, TGI Fridays to be exact. There's like 8 of us. It was a photography after party. We just had the exhibition. I missed the whole expedition because I was working. So I was able to go there on the first day to pick up my stuff, and I was there going the last day to get my stuff. Go figure. So we're there eating. I'm on this side with this one guy, and there's like 10 of us on this long ass table. So the waitress comes over and we all order our food. I order a plain cheeseburger. That's no lettuce, no pickles, no onions, no ketchup, no mustard, no mayo, just air, cheese, and meat. Whatever. And he ordered whatever, and then they go all the way down the table. So then the food comes. She comes over with his I don't know what he ordered, but like some steak thing, and she puts it in front of him, and then he's getting it all like in his nose and shit, and then oh sorry, it's for her. So she picks it up and she goes to the other side of the table and gives them the food, and then that's how they're serving the food. So then this guy, he's like, "Excuse me," he says this in Japanese though. "Excuse me, how is it possible that this young man over here," he pulled me in, "he ordered a plain cheeseburger, which is the most simplest thing to make, and somehow you fucked it up." And he's going off in Japanese, but with this kind of, and then, "Oh, we're so sorry, we're so sorry." Or he said, "Fuck, you're sorry." And he's just going in all the, and he's right. And he was saying it in correct Japanese with enough to let them know. And the rest of the table, like, "Oh my God." I'm like, dude, it's not that important, but thank you. Whatever, I wasn't that hungry, but everyone just kind of felt, "Oh my gosh, how can you do that?" And that comes back to the Japanese thing. If you do that, people are not going to be like, "Yeah." They're going to be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You learned enough Japanese to know you shouldn't do that kind of shit." Long story longer, he didn't have to pay for anything, but he was already standoff. "I'm not going to eat anything." And he didn't eat anything. I think he drank something, but he didn't pay, and it was just weird like that. But there's levels to this shit, levels, and there's ways to do it, which I have started to learn them. But when I get that Japanese on top, but anyway, I'm ranting and raving. It goes bro, PJ 1990. 1990, that's when you were born? That is crazy I don't know if that's when you were born, but 1990. I teach kids, right? And I'd be like, "So, have you seen Harry Potter?" And they're looking at me. "Harry who? Harry Potter?" I just assume this is such a cultural icon that everyone knows, but they weren't even born yet. They may know him because there's a theme park and there's some rides and there's some spin-offs and what have you, but they don't know him like that. Like a lot of my worksheets, for the most part, I don't make worksheets. I just take a worksheet and I kind of upgrade it or update it. But a lot of the things I put on there is so outside of them. They don't even know the references. Like I might stick a Baymax. That was back in the day. It's Japanese, right? Baymax. They should know Baymax. They don't know Baymax. So I gotta put Minions. I don't know Minions. I ain't never watched a whole Minion. I ain't despicable. Anyway, I'm ranting and raving. Alright, that's good. Do you find it hard to date Japanese women? Are they more into Japanese people? I know their parents are not approving to them dating black people. Wait, let me get back to that one. Just seeing how the generation makes me feel old. Man, I am old, man. And I own it. When I see the little gray hairs popping up on my face, it's like, that's all me. And I wouldn't change that. I don't want to not be old. Because with old, wisdom. Now, to go to the Japanese, oh man, this question, since I've been in Japan, has always come up. Japanese women, they're so elusive, so mysterious, so many questions, so much. But in one sense, women are women, parents are parents. Like there's some crazy parents out there, but for the most part, people don't want their children dating different races because it's just weird. But that's not everybody. There's lots of people who are, it's a hard question because everyone is different. I mean, when I was in the States, when I went to prom, I went with my high school girlfriend. We were dating for like 2 years, I believe. I didn't want to go to the prom with her, but she was my girlfriend. Someone else asked me to go, But I don't know why I didn't break up with her. I don't know. I was young and dumb. So anyway, we are going to the prom. What did I get? I got a green tux or some shit like that. You say green? Yeah, I think I got a green one. That's how I roll. And she came to my house. My mom was like, "Oh, we gotta take pictures." We go to her house. Her mom didn't come down the stairs. Her dad was nowhere to be seen. There was no pictures of us prom nighting it up. Now, we've been dating for 2 years. To add on to the fuckery, do I ever use fuckery? Oh, I'm using it now. To add on to the fuckery, we got into an accident once, right? Accident. I'm sure I told this story. This is like the pinnacle of how it was. We got into an accident. It wasn't her fault. Car hit us from the side. Bam. And then the car is total, airbag. I always thought airbags were like big pillows. But them shits come out like they punching you, and she got all fucked up and needed rehabilitation and shit. I banged my head on the rear view mirror. Her mom came. She said, "Oh, you fucked up the car. Are you okay?" "Okay, we got in the ambulance." She did not. "Are you okay, sir? Are you okay, man who was in the car?" She did not acknowledge my existence, and I felt like nothing. Still, But yeah, so that's in the States, in Pennsylvania, you know. So Japan is just another country, and there's different types of parents. Now, I've met some of my friends' parents, their girlfriends' parents, and I didn't meet some of my girlfriend's parents. I met some of my guy friends' parents, and I didn't. It is what it is. I mean, it just is what it is. A lot of my students, they're like 4 years old, 5 years old. That's where I'm teaching my little part-time job. I meet their parents, and they see me, a black guy, and I'm teaching their kids, and their kids be all like rubbing me and shit, because they ain't never seen a black person. Well, they haven't seen foreigners. It doesn't even matter. I could be purple, but they're all rubbing on me. But after a while, they start sitting on my lap, and I'll be pushing them. Come on, don't do that. They start like all up in my face, coughing. Like, don't do that. But they don't treat me as if I'm different. I'm just another one of the staff. And I think these are seeds that are being planted in the parents and the kids and everyone else who's involved. So one day they'd be like, "Wow, that guy looks pretty nice. And I remember I used to be taught by this one, blah, blah, blah." So it's like that. It's always changing. It's always evolving. It's always moving forward. You dropping jewels, do you find it hard or whatever? I remember watching you from years ago. What did you ever do with the Aviso hat? I think that's what you call it. All right, Evisu, man. For those who remember, I was all about the Evisu. How it started, I was in Japan for school 15 years ago, right? Temple University, Japan, yeah. And I was walking down the strip, and I saw someone with these pants that looked like an M to me. Before that, when I was in the States, I was rocking Michigan hats and Mets and whatever had M logos. I didn't care the sport or the brand. I was rocking it, Mecca, what have you. So then I get to Japan, I see these pants with these M's on it. Now, I don't follow trends. I usually go in the opposite direction. So if someone's like, "You gotta have it," it would probably just be blind. I would be blind to it. But at that point, Soulja Boy had them. If you look at the old Soulja Boy is in your robe, woo, he was rocking them. And then the Beyonce, "Crazy Right Now, you love got me crazy," dancers had it. And I think some rappers are rapping about it, but I was oblivious, as I usually am, to things. So when I saw it, it looked like an M. I wanted it. I met a girl, and I told her about it. She's like, "Oh, that's Evisu." And I'm like, "Evisu?" I went on a website, and that shit was expensive. One hat's like $100. So then I go back to the States, and then for Valentine's, she sent me the classic McDonald's looking Evisu hat, and I was just so happy. And I'm walking around, I think I was rocking South Pole at the time. So South Pole with my little Evisu hat, and people who knew, "Oh shit, that's an Evisu hat. Wow." So then I come back here, and the first paycheck, I bought my own pants. I paid what, $300 for them? That's right, I paid $300 for custom painted M's. And then I started getting, so at one point I had like 6 pants and I had 10 or 15 hats, some shirts, blasey, blasey, blah. A lot of money, I know. But I was good, I was feeling, I was happy, whatever. So then I reached out, hey guys, it was one of these, I said, hey guys, I'm looking for someone to make a logo for me. And then Nate reached out to me, said, I can do it. And we went to McDonald's, because that was my default meeting place. And he told me what he does, I told him what I want, and then we met there again, and he showed me the logo for the RG logo. I'm like, that's what I want, that's it. So then I paid him, he gave me the PDF and all that shit. I was like, yo man, how do I put this on the hat? He's like, I don't know. So then it was like this thing, I'm going around and around trying to figure it out, and then finally, he started noticing, started appearing on my clothes and shit. The moment I was walking around, and then someone in the comments like, oh snap, you got an RG hat. Can I buy it? Avizu just, fuck Avizu. Because at one point the owner's like, we're not trying to establish or reach out to other people of the community. We want to keep it just Japanese and stuff. With Bathe and Ape, they had Pharrell, and you know, they were like having all these artists and what have you. So then for a while I just had all this Avizu that I would not wear out of just whatever, I'm not gonna wear it. And then I got the idea I'll sell it. So then I tried to sell it at the pawn shops, but I paid $300 for pants. They're gonna give me $20 for it. No, thank you. I actually threw some shit away. I kept most of the hats. So then I tried to sell directly. I said, hey, I'm selling hats on paper, eBay. And then this guy reached out. He's like, yeah, I'll buy the hats, because people buy shoes, Nike shoes and all that shit. I said, why not? Let me try. And I managed to sell some hats. I even threw in a couple for free, and I just threw the rest away. And that is the story of EVs. I still sometimes, when I be out and about, I see it, and I like. Plus, I came at a time when I used to wear size 39, size 40, size pants. I'm like, oh, what am I, 32, 29 or some shit? Those small ass waists. Plus, I mostly at work teaching. This is, why did I buy? I think I was doing a shoot, that's another story. But actually this whole outfit, these little shorts and all this came from a shoot. All right, yeah, but yeah. But basically, all I wear is kind of this material, so you can sweat, but it's breathable material. And my slacks. I don't go anywhere, so I need nothing. This hat, it's fancy looking, but it costs 100 yen. I bought it from the dollar store. Like, why am I gonna pay for something? Yeah, man, but all right. Quite personal. Do you ever feel like you're falling behind others financially while hustling to build up your music? Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, let me just read them in. RG hat. I'll make you a custom RG hat. If you want one, I'll make one. I could do that. But crazy story. There was a guy. I know the guy. He's a friend of mine. He takes pictures. We met a long time. Blah blah. He's like, yo, I was doing this promote. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I made this custom. I put it on a fitted cap, and it was blue, and I called it the Smurf, right? And he's like, yo, I gotta get the Smurf. Now, to make single products like that, super expensive. It's a fitted hat, and then put the logo. So the hat itself cost maybe, I don't know, $50 to put the logo on there, da da da. So I give it to the man, right? He never gave me any money for it. Now, I know I could have been like, but it's weird. I don't like talking about money. That's not me, man. Now, business school changed that a little bit, but I don't learn. Anyway, I never got paid for that. That's like merchandise off the thing. But he did do other things, and his advice has been invaluable for me, and it's just a learning and thing. But anyway, yeah. All right, where we at? All right, we're just gonna go down. Mimi, I haven't talked to her since that day. Mommy Sue, every now and then she'll hit me up. The crazy thing is that we're all on Facebook and Instagram. I know where they are, and if I wanted to be in the same vicinity as them, I could make it happen. But I'm not. I'm not that. It's just weird like that. But yeah, it was great when she came. It was a great time. I sometimes be thinking about how it was and what it is. Like right now, man. Today a bird shitted on me. A little bird pooped on me. I didn't get to see him because I was eating the apple and just walking, and then I felt something. I'm like, oh shit, literally, oh shit. But I was happy because if the bird shit in my apple, that would suck. I would have to. I could not. There's no way I'm gonna eat around shit on an apple. I can't do that. But it shit on my arm, and it didn't shit on my shirt. It just shit on my arm, which means I can just wipe it off. And I started feeling like it's burning. There's acid, but there's no acid. I don't think there's that much acid. I don't know. I'm not a birdologist. I know that's not the real thing. But anyway, I'm happy. I'm happy with things. I mean, there's a lot of parts that are, but in general. All right, we moving along. We moving down, down, down.